This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. This show is going to be historical. It's going to be epic. It's going to be off the charts because we're going rogue today. And all I got to tell you, you're just going to have to wait to see what I mean. We're all going to get fired. Spry. The Spry folks, Rhonda and Bill, the brass of Class X Radio, are going to probably fire us. But it's Friday, and we're just going to let it rip.
Hey, Bill, we just work in here with the dog. It's his show, so don't fire all the rest of us, okay?
Nothing like loyalty. Nothing like loyalty. Nothing like team player. We're all going down together. Yeah, all right.
Hey, I'll go down with the ship, Bulldog.
Thank you.
You brown noser.
Denise is jockeying for the position. See, she got dogs out of here at the morning show's mine.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
Well, my boys will hang with me anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, as always, there's a lot going on around the world. I say Israel should just go ahead and blow Gaza into the ocean. That's what I would do. Come on, Ben Netanyahu, show us how it's done. Also, we, of course, have congressional hearings going on Capitol Hill relative to Libya and Petraeus and all those good things. And locally, there's always interesting things going on. We got a priest named Father Bob, who's going to go off to jail for a long time. I saw a great interview on Channel 5 with Judge Robert Peeler about the Stacy Schuller case. I've got some great things to discuss, too, locally. Got a lot of pressure on me this morning. I'm going to be representing my daughter in court at 11 a.m. on a little custody issue. Talk about pressure.
Yeah.
What if you lose the case that you represented your daughter on?
Well, that would be good.
Thanksgiving isn't going to be very happy, is it?
No. Could she fire you?
Yep. On the way in here, too, I listened to Cat Stevens' greatest hits.
I love Cat Stevens.
And I'm going to tell you right now, he might have gone rogue himself and become Mr. Islamic Muslim dude, but you cannot take away great music. Mm-hmm. I mean, his greatest hits as good as any greatest hits. For example, I'd like to share them with you just because you're saying, hey, come on, dog, what are you talking about? Well, I'm going to share what I listened to this morning from Cat Stevens, and it was nothing but good stuff.
We should have played all of that. That's what it should have been. What you listen on your way to work. When you come in, if you're in a good mood, you should just...
Well, you can thank Cat Stevens for my happy, good mood today because I listened to his greatest hits all the way from Home All the Way. I mean, just look at these songs. Wide World, Oh Very Young, Peace Train, Morning is Broken, Another Saturday Night. And I tell you right now, this song hits you in the gut. Father and Son. One of the best Father's Days. You know, it's a la kind of like Harry Chapin, Cats in the Cradle.
Right.
The Silver Moon.
Do we have any of those? I mean, that's what
we didn't have Father and Son.
We didn't have Father and Son, but Jake will find Father and Son.
Okay.
And we also had, I know we have Cats in the Cradle, Harry Chapin. Maybe we'll play that. But like I said, we're going rogue. So we may not get a chance to play those.
We could do album rock with all
Is there an early traffic report?
No, not really. Everything looking pretty good. Did you see anything coming in? I didn't see anything.
Nothing.
Watch for those deer out there. It is the rut right now, so it's hunting season, which means all those male deers are chasing the bucks are chasing the does.
It's different.
That's exactly what they do. Then they snort and yeah.
You know, dogs sniff another dog's butt. Have you ever had a guy come up and just sniff your butt?
They hate dogs because of that reason. Then they want to lick your face and rub their nose on your face.
That's not what he asked. He said, have you ever had a guy come up and sniff your butt?
No, but I'm just saying I hate dogs for that reason.
Because I was going to say, no, and if one did, I think I'd smack
buttholes.
And of course,
disgusting.
And of course, there's a lot of football going on, and we love that. Quote of the day is from my man Theodore Roosevelt. The best executive is the one who has sense enough to pick good men and women to do what he wants done and self-restraint to keep from meddling with them while they do it. Now, the important part of that is finding the good men and women that you can trust. Today in history, Oklahoma became the 46th state. Oklahoma! I love that. I love that. I don't. We're gonna do Tombstone all day long, folks, or all morning long, because why? We're cool. Cool people like Tombstone. Idiots don't. LSD is first synthesized by Swiss chemist Dr. Albert Hofmann in 1938. He goes, wow, man. Psychedelic, I synthesized this.
Whoa, dude.
1939, Al Capone freed from Alcatraz jail. And always remember the Bulldog's favorite quote of all time happens to be from Al Capone. You get more with a kind word and a loaded gun than a kind word alone. Tell me that isn't true. 1955, our man Johnny Cash, who has the largest poster in our studio for some reason. Matthew McConaughey is the smallest poster.
I pulled this
1963, touch-tone telephone introduced. Yeah. Man, I remember back in the day when you had to do the
dial.
You don't even know that, do you, Garrett? You aren't even old enough.
Wouldn't have a clue how to use one of those
rotary
things.
phone.
Exactly. My kids didn't.
1982, Space Shuttle Columbia completed its first operational flight. 1988, Jose, I took steroids and am proud, Canseco, is the first unanimous American League MVP since Reggie Jackson. He was a bodybuilder, not a baseball player. He was weird
announced
looking.
yesterday.
What?
We'll get to that in sports.
All right. Robin Givens sued Mike Tyson for $125 million for libel in 1988.
He
Winch!
gets out of control.
I'm on Team Mike.
Screaming. Does he hit you?
And I'm against domestic violence.
Pushes.
But you see, I don't believe her. She took advantage of him, took all his mojo, took his man juice, and then took all his money. Enough of that. And I don't want to give her any airtime. And in 2000, Bill Clinton was the first president of Vietnam since the Vietnam War. He showed up in Vietnam and went like this. Hey, I draft dodged, so I couldn't come here when I was little. It's a lot better coming over here as president than as a soldier. I would have probably died. So I'm glad I'm here now. Draft dodger.
He is here. Can you believe he did that? Dodger. I know. I should smack him.
All right, famous birthdays today. Oh, wait. It's almost time to go. Should we do birthdays or should we come back for birthdays?
Do birthdays.
All right, Maggie Gyllenhaal, 35. Lisa Bonet, 45. Marge, I'm a redhead that does those cast characters. Hell Gegenberger.
Man.
Okay, do birthdays
Those
later.
are weak. Birthdays suck today.
Yeah, birthdays.
Ain't
a bad day.
Nobody important.
When the hell was
There's
that?
no today's known as. I mean, this is crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we're going rogue. We're going to, you know what? Bill Spry claims he's a rebel. I claim I'm a rebel.
Okay, now we have a battle of the rebels.
What is a rebel thing to do on Class X radio?
Be a rebel.
You don't play Class X. You play a great hip-hop song. This is Hey Yeah by Outkast on Class X hip-hop. Well, we're all on probation now.
Yeah. He survived it. He'll live. We'll be okay.
We're on double secret probation.
We've been on double secret.
Don't we have that clip? That is funny. On Saturday Night Live. Or not Saturday Night Live. Animal House. You know, Animal House is... You know, if you're going to rank the top 10 movies of all time, you got to do Animal House. Comedies, at least. Do you have anything going on in traffic?
Well, let me check. I hadn't even looked at it. No, says nothing. How about that? Isn't that nice? That's a nice way to start off your day. There's no problems out there. Nobody has to be late for work.
Yeah, on the way in this morning, I was listening to Cat Stevens and the song Wild World, he goes, baby, baby, it's a wide world, and it's hard to get by like a child. Anyway, I was thinking to myself, you know that I'm a little, off kilter. I admit it. Okay. Isn't it amazing how often and in different ways the word baby is used? You know what I'm saying? Lovers say, "Hey, baby." It's slang. Hey, baby. And it's used in songs all the time. I mean, what would musicians do if they weren't allowed to use the word baby? Hey, baby. It's like, I can see them now. They're writing a lyric, and they're stuck, and they don't know what to say. And they go, hey, put in a baby there. Oh, that's a great idea. Baby, baby. Baby, baby. I bet you nobody else has ever, thought so deep about that.
You think?
Except me. I think deep.
Well, obviously you did.
That's what makes me special. Forecast, sunny high of 52. Folks, let's have a great weekend. Saturday, sunny high of 56. Sunday, sunny high of 58. That's some great weather. Facebook feel-good song is Shoot the Thrill. We're going to jack wagon up the American Red Cross. Can you imagine? Only on Bulldog Nation would we do such a thing. They are spending $181,000 on 45 rooms at the Soho Grand Hotel in downtown Manhattan to house storm relief volunteers.
Wow.
That's messed up.
You jackwagon?
CNN's Soledad O'Brien had Representative Joe Heck on her show yesterday. She kept cutting him off, trying to equate Condoleezza Rice to Susan Rice. Jackwagon.
You jackwagon?
The United States Postal Service, and we love our postal friends, but they lost $15.9 billion last year, $900 million more than projected. Jackwagon them up.
You jackwagon?
And Senator, I like to wear tennis shoes, Patty Murray, Democrat of Washington, the woman who will seek the chairmanship of the Senate Budget Committee next year, said she cannot commit to doing a budget. How do you like that? Jackwagon her up. All right, let's do some oracles. The only members of the Cincinnati City Council to vote against Milton Dohoney, our good buddy Christopher Smitherman, and our other good buddy Chris, I'm a councilman, Seelbach, voted against that dang pay raise.
You've been awarded oracle
Is Giz
status.
off council?
Yes, she got beat.
I'm going to say she's against it.
And we're going to give an oracle status to Norwood Police Officer Matthew Evans, who, after filing a report for Sharpsburg Elementary School in which a fourth grade field trip had been canceled because the money had been stolen, Evans covered the cost of the trip with his own funds.
Oh, I see. That's what a good guy.
You've been awarded
Steal
oracle
30
status.
bags.
And let's give a big oracle status to Governor Rick. I can't even think of 3 departments in Washington that I'd like to cut. Join the growing list of governors who say they won't set up a state-run health care exchange under Obamacare. Yeah, baby. Let's face it, there's 30 Republican governors.
You've been
They'll probably only
awarded
have
oracle
20.
status.
Wouldn't it be funny if the Democrat governors don't do it, too? That'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it? Don't you think that'd be kind of funny?
It'd be funny.
All right, quite a smeller. Little fun fact. Helen Keller, blind and deaf from an early age, developed a sense of smell so fine that she could identify friends by their personal odors.
Wow.
I am not kidding you. Yesterday I was in a deposition, and I think I know which one in the room smelled, but somebody smelled, and it was god-awful for a couple hours.
Okay, I went to a wedding this summer where there were a couple of, like, I guess you would call them naturalists, and they didn't wear.
Right.
Oh,
Nice,
it was disgusting.
Isn't
It was
that great?
bad. It was bad.
Jeez, old Pete.
It's like, you hippie.
Like, why do you got to be
Nothing
such
wrong
a
with being a
hippie?
tree hugger, but do you have to
hippie.
smell that? too?
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with deodorant. Like, you can use modern inventions, you know?
Mm-hmm. Now, they do say if you use the kind that has, oh gosh, I'd have to look it up, but there's something in one of them that if you use the antiperspirant, maybe, not the deodorant, or maybe it's the deodorant, not the antiperspirant, there's something in there that they relate to Alzheimer's.
Really?
Yes, I'll look it up. Because my boys are both paranoid. My father-in-law had Alzheimer's, so now my ex doesn't wear, maybe it is deodorant, so he always feels like he smells. So maybe it's the antiperspirant, he doesn't buy the deodorant.
Does your ex still have benefits? Because you talk about him an awful lot.
Benefits for what?
Like if I was
Friends
your,
with benefits.
Like if I was your current boyfriend or husband, I'd be mad because you talk about your ex too much.
Well, there's no, why not? I mean, I have to deal with him for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you see.
Nah, why would I need benefits?
Nice.
Why would I need benefits?
Still hooking
Dick,
up in the sack
I
with
still
them.
get
I
paycheck.
gotcha.
I still
Pop
get a check.
culture. Dick Van Dyke. He said Mary Poppins author P.L. Travers battled Disney for 20 years before allowing the film to be made, saying she didn't want to do it. She hated the idea. She hated Julie Andrews, and she hated me. Well, let's jackwagon up P.L. Travers then. We got your back, Dick.
You jackwagon?
I'll tell you somebody who creeps me out, and he's dead, and he still creeps me out. Andy Warhol. His Statue of Liberty artwork was auctioned for $43.8 million. His 1981 silkscreen of Marlon Brando on a motorcycle went for $23.7 million. My big question is why? Danica Patrick, the NASCAR racer, said she turned down Dancing with the Stars several times because she lacks the time and patience for the show. I'm with you, Danica.
Good for her.
I wonder how much she's turned down from Playboy. David Geffen, he closed a $54 million New York City penthouse formerly owned by Denise Rich, a socialite who renounced her U.S. passport and now lives in London. That's the woman that, she was nice. She asked me to pardon her husband, and I did. I ain't going to tell you why. It's our secret. That penthouse has memories, so. All right. Thank you, Bill. Can you imagine? You know what? When we become national television and radio stars, we're going to have penthouses in New York.
Oh, I can't wait.
Dinner parties, Hey, David, you want to come over? David Geff, you want to go? Hey, will you see if Steven, Steven see if Steven wants to come too?
I'm going to throw some major parties.
And Brad and George, see if Brad and George want to come. How about this? Bruce Jenner reportedly consulting a high-powered divorce lawyer to handle a rumored split. They deny it. Kris Jenner denies it. You know what? That's called reality television. I've already told our people I'm not going to make up and do stupid things for ratings.
Do you watch
I don't
that
need
crap,
to.
Denise?
What?
I don't.
Keeping up
but I'm
with
sure
the Kardashians.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
when I had
Keeping up with the
surgery,
skanks is what the name ought
well,
to
you know,
be.
when I had surgery, I don't know, a couple years ago, I was stuck on the couch, and for some reason, I watched Housewives of Atlanta, and I was like, "This is horrible." It was absolutely, but it was like a train wreck. I couldn't stop watching it for like days.
I need some Tombstone. I swear to God, I just got goosebumps. Oh, Tombstone. Folks, if you're just tuning in, you want to stay with us because we're going to play Tombstone all week. I mean, all
All
show
day?
long. All right, John Bon Jovi. Criminal charges have been dropped against his daughter after an alleged overdose on heroin. There's no truth to the rumor that John Bon Jovi donated $10 million to the police department. I just made that up. A 13-year-old says Celine Dion hit on X Factor. Ooh. Carly Rose Sinclair, 13, performed Dion's My Heart Will Go On, drawing massive praise for her vocal control
Great song.
and was touted as possible early favorite to win the $5 million competition. Selena Gomez, sources say she spent recent days blocking Justin Bieber from her phone and contact list, refusing to speak with him as their breakup was reported to be over his relationship with a Victoria's Secrets model. And Selena Gomez is going to wreck little Bieb's life because he still loves her. And he screwed up. There seems to be some confusion over who the Florida military base-hopping socialite is, a.k.a. Jill Kelly. Since the scandal broke, sales of retired explicit film star Jill Kelly's have jumped 500%. I told you it was the same name of a porn star.
How
do you like that, man? You got something on that?
Just song.
Okay, song. Let's get song. Oh, we ready for the song. All right. We're back on rock. We're back on rock from the Spry selection.
Bill, it's okay. Back up off the floor.
Bruce Springsteen, Out in the Street. One of my favorites. Get it, Bruce. Go, go, go. On Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You can listen to us every morning on 88.9 or 89.1 FM. And you can also call us at 513-201-8891. Jack Wagons need not apply. You got to say something witty or wise, or we won't even put you on the air. You can also listen to us live streaming by video. The only radio show in the tri-state that does that for you on ClassXRadio.com. And the reason why we do that is you can just see how damn good looking we all are. That's the only reason why we do it. We want to show off our good looks, especially Garrett, who is so damn handsome.
God, it's
Why don't
pretty
you turn
tough.
around and wave? Why don't you turn around and wave at the camera there, Garrett? It just
It's pretty tough to be this good
I
looking.
know.
I have to
And
beat
it-
girls
And a couple
away.
comments. You know, Mike Zimmerman, the senior member of our crew here behind the video cam, had a great comment about the Benghazi attack. You know, this debate over whether it was terrorists or not. Who the hell attacks an embassy except terrorists? I mean, are you kidding me? So succinct. And we've also got a new poster added to our wall today.
yeah, not Matthew McConaughey.
We got a little bit of color here now. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we present to you on our walls, our hallowed walls, Shaft. You gotta love Shaft.
When's my picture going up on the...
Oh, well.
We'll have to
hey,
go
hey,
have you pose for it. In the other
Tommy
room.
Boy poster. There we go, baby. Speaking of Tommy Boy, do we have any Tommy Boy? Do we have like a Tommy Boy? Just
Oh,
something-
wait. No, he has to do
We
it
do.
live.
Huh? We got to do live? Well, why
He
he's
needs to do it.
finding Tommy Boy? How about a traffic report?
I got one.
All right, go ahead. Fire away.
No. Get out.
He's ready to die from
burning.
exhaustion.
Yeah.
That's classic.
Oh, I forgot to leave it up. It goes, he pulls out a card from his jacket bag. He goes, do you validate? The guy kicks him out.
Speaking of meat wagons, we hope we don't have any meat wagons out there. What do you got in traffic, Denise?
Well, we have a couple of accidents. River Road at State, Coleraine, that's the first one in a while, south of Elmore Street, and in Harrison, Carolina Trace at New Haven. And it's still pretty early, so don't really have any delays just yet. So that's good news.
All right, on Howard Stern radio show yesterday, Kid Rock says getting married kicks and being married, come on, kid, baby. What else do we have here? Local news, Fairfield priest, 71-year-old Robert Frank Pawandi, and they said they called him Father Bob. Ugh. At Glen Mary Missionaries. According to the indictment, he took a 10-year-old boy across state lines intending to engage in a sexual act in 1991. Put him away. Put him away. Ohio basketball coach, 46-year-old Scott Studer, was arrested and placed in the Stark County Jail after police identified 24 high school basketball players that were filmed in the shower by the coach. What the heck, man? That is yuck.
People are sick, dude.
Oh, my God. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Florence police attribute robberies to rising drug problem. Yeah, what's new about that?
Yeah.
Warren County Common Pleas Judge Robert Peeler speaking about a double standard for child sex case. He goes, I've heard this for years, and that is the case. And I think there's a reality there. He's right.
What's the double standard in the?
In other words, if it's a male teacher with a little female 16 or 17-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking child, like
No.
10-year-old
It is
kid.
different.
And
It's-
this is
it's double
disgusting.
standards ones.
24-year-old Ryan Hoff was arrested for possession and distribution of explicit material. They found over 30,000 images and videos of suspected child sexual abuse on his computers. Oh, that's disgusting.
At least these people are dumb enough to film it so that there's hard evidence against them, and they just put them away forever.
I need some tombstone. God, that movie's so cool. You know what? Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday, I think it might be my favorite role in any movie of all time. I just love it.
I'll have to watch that.
All right, let's get to little sports. Kentucky Wildcat basketball, they have been announced for the 5th straight year, the best recruiting class in America. Bearcats, I think, are probably like 56 in the country. Or so.
It doesn't matter. Hey, we got the bet on the table. The Cats are going farther than your Cats. My Cats over your Cats.
Does anybody? Nobody. Do you know what a bearcat is? Nobody even has seen.
It's a real
or heard.
animal.
Yeah, right.
It's at the zoo. If you go to the zoo, there's a Bearcat. There's Lucy.
So was it a mixture between a bear and a cat?
It's like a. It's kind of
Yeah, that's right. Where are you, Jake?
Yeah,
You need to come in here and tell us what a bear cat is.
When we come back, we'll have our zoo. We have our own
What's a
resident zoo
wildcat?
expert.
Absolutely.
A wildcat's a big old cat. It's wild.
What kind?
A wildcat.
That's not an animal.
It's a wildcat.
Okay, you know, like the little house cat, where you triple the size of it, put longer whiskers on it, and you got a wildcat that lives in the wild.
But it's not a real animal. I mean, if you were
It's
the
a cat.
tigers
It's
or the
got claws
lions
and stuff, man.
Be more specific, Kentucky. There's a lot of wildcats out there.
Major League Baseball MVP awards, American League, Miguel Cabrera, numero uno.
Miguel.
National League, Miguel Cabrera, or whatever. Buster Posey. I don't like him. He destroyed the Reds.
Buster.
Listen
You
to this. WNBA legend Holtz Claw, or whatever her name is, was arrested after allegedly chasing down ex-girlfriend Jennifer Lacey's car, hitting it with a baseball bat, and firing a gun into the window.
Oh, she's a lesbian. Big surprise.
NHL, you're going to get suspended, man. By the way,
I'm just saying,
Trisha Mackey
She's back on the air.
made Drudge Report.
Really?
Yeah, you watch the national gay groups go after her now.
Yeah.
NHL recommended a
Oh,
two-break.
my gosh. Is she on the air?
She's back.
Yeah, she's
She
back.
is? Okay.
Trish.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, when we come back, we'll finish sports. We got some more Tombstone for you. We got some Step Brothers for you. If you want to have fun and learn at the same time, this is where you need to be. Every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. on your way into work. This is Neil Young, My, Hey, Hey, on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We're having a blast here this morning. And have we even done an hour yet? We haven't even gotten an hour.
Nope, haven't. That's surprising, because it's rolling right along.
And as we all know about traffic on Friday, we don't even need Denise. I don't even know why we let her come in the studio. We don't even need her. But I don't know.
Fired.
Yeah, we might miss her. So go ahead, Denise. Do your little
There are
traffic
3
report.
accidents out there.
Ooh.
The same ones as before. It's River Road at State, Coal Range is south of Elmore, and in Harrison, Carolina Trace at New Haven. So a couple of problems, Yeah, Fridays are always lighter, but nobody's complaining.
All right, NCAA basketball. Indiana 99, Sam Houston State 45. Mike Zimmerman and his wife Angie are excited about
They're
there
happy.
being number one. You know what, though, Garrett? Oh, this is wild. He's Indiana, you're UC, and I'm UK.
We got all the 3 states. How
Wow.
about last?
Let's assign Louisville to Denise. You're
What?
assigned Louisville. No, Jake, we'll assign Jake to Louisville because my stepson Cole goes there, so he's Louisville. You're not in it.
It's amazing how
you just never mind. Just
how
keep going.
good this area is for basketball. Think of all the teams last year that were in the Sweet 16 and just the tournament in general that are from this area.
I mean, I watch that stuff. What do you mean?
Louisville 80, Samford 54, Tulsa 76, Northern Kentucky 56. Welcome to the Division I. NBA scores: Miami 98, Denver 93. The Knicks are unbeaten, and they beat San Antonio 104-100. NFL scores: Buffalo 19, Miami 14. You know what? That is an unbelievable, sad franchise that Miami can't get back. Crazy. Tonight's NCAA game, 7 p.m., Lafayette at number 3, Kentucky. 2:30, Dayton at Boston College. NCAA football, 9:30, Hawaii at Air Force. And then, of course, high school football tonight. We're going to give you all of them. 7 p.m., Walton Road at Newport Catholic, Covington Catholic at Highlands. That's the big one. Beechwood at Frankfort, Franklin County at Cooper, Simon Kenton at Scott, Trotwood Madison at Turpin. And tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m., I might go to this, Moeller at Coleraine.
That'd be a good one, though.
I say Big Mo. Garrett says Coleraine.
I'd say Coleraine, too, this year. I would.
Mo. Saturday's NCAA football schedule. Noon, Rutgers at Cincinnati. 1, Miami at Ohio at Central Michigan.
Big game for you.
3:30, Wake Forest at Notre Dame.
I'll be at that one.
The future number 1 in the country, Notre Dame. You going to be at that game?
I'll be on the field.
Wake up the Echoes. Hey, by the way, Garrett, find that for us. Wake up the Echoes, Notre Dame's theme song. All right, Jake. Jake's on that. 3:30, the Buckeyes at Wisconsin. 7:30, Samford at Kentucky. 8 p.m., number 1, Kansas State at Baylor. And number 13, Stanford at number 2, Oregon. Come on, Stanford. Beat Oregon. Sunday's NFL schedule: Arizona at Atlanta. Cleveland at Dallas at 1. Dallas is going to win the rest of their games. Green Bay at Detroit. Cincinnati at Kansas City. Come on, Bengals. Philadelphia at Washington. Tampa Bay at Carolina. Jacksonville at Houston. The Jets at St. Louis. New Orleans at Carson Palmer's Oakland. San Diego at Denver. Indianapolis at New England. Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Any comments on the weekend's football activities, Garrett?
Who do your Cowboys have?
Cleveland at home.
That's a win.
Yep.
The Bengals could very well go into Kansas City and lose that game.
Absolutely.
Riding a high. Kansas City played well against the Steelers on Monday night.
You're right.
What else we got? Pittsburgh and Baltimore play twice. They play Sunday night this week, and then they play in 2 weeks again. So twice in 3 weeks.
I need some Tombstone. I
Uh-oh.
I got to get some Tombstone. I'm like Oral Roberts. If I don't have Tombstone, I might die. I got to have some Tombstone. Oh, you got to love that.
Nice.
All you're going to do is just stand there and bleed. One night we ought to have rent out the Duke Convention Center and have every manly man in the tri-state come and watch a special viewing of Tombstone.
Do you think you'd need that big of a place to do it?
I think so.
Okay.
We would, Denise. Why would you question that?
Yeah, why would you question
Obviously,
there's not that many
Bulldog
manly
Nation
men in
would
there?
pack the house. Packed and stacked.
We would probably need Paul Brown Stadium, the Great American Ballpark, and Duke Convention Center to do that. We'd probably have to have it on 3 screens.
3 separate
Bulldog Nation turns out.
viewings.
You say so?
They'd fly around the country. I tell you they do.
Denise underestimates the power of the nation.
Yes, we did a traffic report. You want another one? You missed it.
No,
you want another one?
Bill Clinton's even in the nation.
Yeah.
That's right, Bulldog.
He's very.
Why shouldn't I? I like everything the nation stands for, especially that mafia butt.
Well, he's a little annoying. He keeps asking for
Bulldog,
cigars.
Hey, Bulldog, that Farrah poster, nice touch. Nice touch.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
I'm going to have to start hitting him because he keeps asking for cigars.
He does.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something. He's going to have to start sitting on your end.
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we started out with, hey, yeah, to make Bill Spry a little nervous. We got back to rock. Well, now we've got, I didn't know about this band until I watched Saturday Night Live, and I said, I like those guys. This is fun some nights on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You know what? Here at this radio station, on the morning show, we cover it all. We inspire, we entertain, from pop culture to sports. We cover the politics better than anybody else. And in fact, guess what? Remember what I said right after the election about the debate? What did the Bulldog say? I said, the only 2 people that need to be in the room is Boehner and Obama. New York Times editorial this morning. Guess what they say? The only two people that matter is Boehner and Obama. Hey, New York Times, you're a week later than the Bulldog. But we also have here, because see, like, I am an expert in martial arts. I'm an expert in farming. I'm an expert in shooting wild turkeys, which we're going to audio tape. When I go on a wild turkey shoot, I usually do it on Thanksgiving morning. I go shoot 3 wild turkeys that my sisters and my mom cook for the family dinner. I'm going to do it on Tuesday this week in the early morning, and we're going to audio tape it so everybody can hear what it's like when I go hunting. And then, of course, Wednesday, he doesn't know it yet, but Chuck Holbrook's being sent on the Tuist turkey farm for an early morning report right in the freaking middle of all the turkeys, where there's 3,000 turkeys. By next week, there might only be 100 left. I don't know. But we have here, and Denise is an expert on traffic. And then we, of course, got Jake, our expert on wildlife and our own zoo expert.
Zoologist.
So
He is a zoo expert.
So we're calling it, you know what? He dressed up as a zoologist for Halloween, so we know he knows everything.
He's
So-
going to start volunteering there, too.
Right, he's going to volunteer there. So tell us what a wildcat is and a bearcat is, Jake.
Well, from what I know, a wildcat, as in the sense of a school mascot, is not a big cat. It's just a wild domestic cat throughout Europe, is what I found out. What I think the wildcat is for UK is just like a bobcat of some sorts, and those are throughout Kentucky.
So are you saying that
Are you
saying that the Kentucky wildcat is the? Are you saying
I'm saying the
bearcat
bearcat
fraud.
mascot is more of an animal than the Kentucky wildcat.
Thank you, Jake.
You're
Thank you, Jake. You are rehired.
If you know anything about zoo animals and you'll do it the way we want it, email me
Wildcats are
You
fraud.
don't have
It's
a
just
job
a
if you can help
generality.
create an animal.
That's just on a zoology standpoint.
And you know what? He's biased. His buddy Cole goes to University of Louisville, and all he's trying to do is tear down UK
They have a
because
real
of
That's a
animal.
cardinal.
You know, Louisville
Animal's a
does
real
have a
animal.
real
I mean,
animal.
that's a
A
bird.
bearcat's a real animal.
See, hey, I just want to apologize to the Big Blue Nation at University of Kentucky. Jake will never be asked about a wildcat again.
I don't apologize, you big hillbillies.
We go to a traffic
You don't
report
have a
before
real
this gets out of hand.
mascot.
Before this gets out of hand.
You think it will? Still dealing with an accident at Coleraine at Elmore, Carolina Trace at New Haven, and River Road at State. So other than that, things should start picking up here soon.
Hey,
He's high-fiving them all in this.
I got to ask you something. I'm being serious. This is terrible. I hope people out there listen to Traffic Report. I never listen to what
I
she
know.
said.
I don't have a clue what you just said, Denise.
You know why you don't
just a
listen?
Hold on, let me guess. You said something about 75 or 71.
Why she gives Traffic Report, I'm always doing something else.
Can I ask you why you would need to know anything about the traffic
Exactly.
report?
We
I
don't
think that's
need
the
it.
reason
You don't
why.
need it, so you don't listen. And guess what? Everybody at home that's listening to us, anything that you say that doesn't pertain to them and they don't give a shit about, they don't
Hey,
listen.
cut. Did you dump that? All right.
Sorry, Bill Spry.
Thank goodness for the dump button.
Dump button.
Man,
Oh, my God.
there's a first slip up.
Hey, all
The
right.
first one, I thought I'd be the
let's,
first.
Let's move on.
Dude, tombstone clip.
Yeah, we need a tombstone.
Bury
tombstone.
me.
Tombstone. I guessed it. I love
You guessed it or you knew it?
I knew it. It is a daisy. I love when he says that. All right, diabetes level source. Since 1995, the number of Oklahomans with diabetes has tripled. Their rate rose to 10%, while Kentucky's rose just over 9%, Georgia 10%, Mississippi's 12%. And you know why, folks? Because we're getting fat, dumb, and stupid. The FDA released info showing has received we already talked about 5-hour energy drinks. Marine General Joseph Dunford, the Marine nominated to lead troops in Allied forces in Afghanistan, told Congress yesterday, leaving John McCain dumbfounded, that he has been left out of the planning for troop reductions and doesn't know what the administration or field commander's expectations are. Incredible. Hillary Clinton says she will testify in December after her independent review board investigation. No, after everybody else has already testified. Intelligence officials say the video shows on the Benghazi footage shows an attack not brought on by a demonstration but a planned event. They also say it wasn't organized well. CIA, MSNBC, the CIA has opened an exploratory investigation into former director David Petraeus' general conduct. And we have something relative to Jay Leno on this. If you got to explain the Petraeus scandal on teen terms, Jay Leno decided last night that he would kind of explain this to you if you were a teenager. Go ahead.
And that was the Petraeus scandal summed up in Denise Johnson terms. Yeah.
I tell you right now, that is hilarious. I had to play that again the last time. Speaking of Jill Kelly, in 2010, she performed a parachute jump with Special Operations Elite Team Paracommandos as part of a community outreach program. A retired senior officer said of the lavish parties thrown by Kelly and her husband, admirals and generals were usually the only ones invited. A colonel is about as low as Kelly would go. And get this, folks. A businessman has come forward saying he cut ties with Jill Kelly after she agreed to broker a deal for a coal gasification plant worth $4 billion using her honorary consul status with South Korea only if she received 2% cut in the deal or $80 million. You know what? She needs money. Why didn't she say, how about $1 million? $80 million. Oh, my God. Jill. Montana State Rep Jerry O'Neill, the legislature's not going to pay him in gold. So that story's over. Barack Obama, in a phone call, told the Egyptian president that Israel has a right to defend itself against aggression. Morsi was headed to Gaza to support Hamas in the current unrest. Here's what Israel needs to do. Wait for Morsi to get there, then blow the hell out of Gaza. Just wipe it up. You know Israel could do that. Israel could just clean up Gaza. Obama toured the Sandy damage, hugging and comforting families who lost relatives.
Kissing babies.
He announced to hurricane victims that Housing and Urban Development Secretary Sean Donovan is the federal government's point person in the recovery. And I want you to know that Sean Donovan is not going to have an affair with anybody, any of his underlings. He's not important enough to have a biography. So we don't have to worry about him cheating with his biographer. Train crashed in the Wounded Veterans Parade. This is sad. 4 are dead, 17 wounded after a train crashed into a flatbed trailer float carrying wounded vets to an honorary dinner in Midland, Texas, 320 miles of West Texas. Wow. You got a clip?
Song.
Huh? Song. Ready for a song? All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, this is a great song from the Bulldog selection. Switching the Glide by the Kings on Class X Radio. This will put you in a good mood. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio, where we've delivered an hour and 15 minutes of radio superbity, and we have an hour and 45 minutes to go. The only thing that interrupts our superbity is our routine traffic reports by Blondie, which we will now go to now for your driving planning on Class X Radio.
It does help people.
Maybe
They've called me.
expletive free this time, Denise. Expletive free.
Go ahead.
Expletive free traffic.
They still have the accidents out there. Carolina Trace at New Haven, Coleraine at Elmore, and River Road at State. And if you look at the traffic as far as heading in northbound 71, 75, yes, I said it. Things are slowing down there right around Buttermilk. And then on 71, just around the 275 merge, as well as on 75 around the Ronald Reagan merge. Back to you.
All right.
No dump button on that one.
Did you get into that, dog?
Yep. Now let's do a Step Brothers clip. You know, we've decided we like to make you laugh, you know, in the mornings, and we throw these clips in there to brighten up your morning. This is Step Brothers bunk beds. God, he's funnest night ever.
Not the best bunk bed scene ever, if you'll recall Black Sheep.
Yes.
When the hail and then they ripped the ball. That is the freaking best. I got dibs on top bunk.
The U.S. is currently negotiating with Afghanistan to decide how many troops will stay in the battleground after 2014. Sex and the Generals from the American Spectator. General David Petraeus has in war been a hero. In public service, too, he was a national asset. But toward the end of his soldiering, his life is now cast in doubt. And the head of the CIA, the doubt has increased. Almost certainly, as director of Central Intelligence, he was no Dick Helms or Bill Casey, stating the obvious. Colorado shooter James Holmes has been trying to crash his skull by running headfirst into his jail cell and falling backwards off his bunk. I say, have at it. Health insurance exchange. The Obama administration informed states yesterday that they were extending the deadline for them to decide whether they will set up their own health care exchange by 1 month. You know, it's such a great deal that all the states are just out there rushing to do it. Not. Come on, man. Semper Fi, honey, according to the New York Times op-ed piece by J.C. Eckhart, General Petraeus is no wolf preying on females in his chain of command. He seems too much like her own husbands. If he could betray his wife of 38 years and 23 moves and a decade of constant war, what hope do the rest of us to have for fidelity? What the heck? BP pleads guilty to manslaughter to 2010 Gulf oil spill case. 11 felony counts. They will pay the U.S. $4.5 billion. And 3 former BP employees were also charged with multiple counts and obstruction charges. So there you have it.
Felony manslaughter. There were some people that died on the actual rig, right?
Yep.
When it actually happened.
When the rig exploded, there was. Robbery stopped when inmates reconnect. This is a cool story. A 51-year-old Kansas man was robbed at gunpoint Wednesday night when one of the robbers realized they had done time together in prison. He stopped the robbery, gave the man's wallet back to him, and apologized and left. There's a code. That is a code.
Bro code.
That is a code, man. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool.
I guess.
Now, this is a funny story. This is too funny. And we got this from the Sun Chronicle. 29-year-old Dana Leland was arrested in Rhode Island after he tried to pass off counterfeit $100 bills. This sounds like something Denise would do. Instead of Benjamin Franklin, he had Abraham Lincoln on the $100 bills.
God. Morons.
Jeez, old Pete.
Why is it something I would do?
Because you're a moron. I'm kidding. I kid. But seriously.
It's a good thing I can tolerate you. and I don't have my bat with me.
Ricardo Salamanca remains in jail on $75,000 bond after he was arrested in Florida for trying to cut off his girlfriend's nose for refusing to have sex with him. I need to give this to my wife.
Seems fair.
What?
Her nose was only attached by a thread when she got to the hospital.
Jeez.
That's messed up, man.
That's really messed up.
Look what they're doing to people that are refusing sex to their husbands.
You're going to take that home and lay it next to the bed, all right?
DEA officials are soon going to file criminal charges as they're investigating FedEx and UPS for aiding and abetting in the illegal drug sales from online pharmacies by companies. They're like, hey, man, we need money, too. We got to do something here. You know what I think? I think I need some Tombstone. I really do think I could use some Tombstone to continue this segment. You got some Tombstone? Yep.
Smells like someone dying.
Man, oh, man.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a comedy movie?
No.
I didn't know.
I don't either, honestly.
supposed
but
to
I'm
be
just like,
funny.
listen to that one thinking
So
that
it
one
is. It's a
supposed to be-
badass.
It's a bad movie. Virginia Republican Party official Bob Fitzsimmons posted on Facebook, when Obama is 90 years old and he dies and goes to hell, he's going to say this is all Bush's fault. You know, it will be funny if he blames Bush for his failed second term. He will. He'll say, you know what? Because of Bush, I could just never get tractions. Now, get this. CNS News reports there's 47 million food stamp recipients in the U.S. If they all voted for Obama, that would have accounted for 75% of his 62 million votes. Just saying.
Wow.
Yep.
New York Times, they're following my lead. William and I crack up about this. How many times people go, report some news after we've already covered it and analyzed it. He also says, get this, more and more people are taking what we write and reposting it on their own Facebook as their own. And the reason why we know that is because we write a lot of these stories, all the stories, in our own words. So we take clips, but we don't just copy the words unless we put quotation marks on it. So it's kind of funny that we're like a news leader now.
Right.
Good job.
Lawmakers in the Senate are saying the only negotiations over the fiscal cliff that will matter is the one between Boehner and Obama, which begins today. They're right. This is funny. I think it's funny. Maine Republican Party Chairman Charlie Wester, they're calling for his resignation. Why? Because he said this. Dozens of black people who came in and voted on Election Day. Everybody has a right to vote, but nobody in these towns knows anyone who's black. How did that happen? Now, some people could say that is racist, but I could also understand it if it's true. I mean, if you've got a lily white town and 100 black people show up and you have to wonder. John McCain goes off on a reporter for questioning his schedule. I have no comment about my schedule. I'm not going to comment on how I spend my time to the media because I have the right as a senator to have no comment, and who the hell are you to tell me I can or not? Wow. The RNC and Florida Republican Party are backing West, that's Alan West, recount of votes. He currently is at 1,900 votes behind. It was like 2,300 behind his challenger, but the St. Lucie County election supervisor has said there were problems with the counting process. American Spectator, if Republicans can't expose Democrats' lies, how are they to compete? Well, that's a problem, because no matter what we tell the public, those Democrat voters that voted for Obama do not care. Plain and simple. What else do I have here worth reporting? I've already talked about the jobs reports yesterday. Wasteful spending at the Pentagon. Get this, $1.5 million to develop a special new roll-up beef jerky. My good buddy, who owns a Wild Joe jerky company, we ought to get him
That sounds good.
to make a sales pitch. Wasteful
Well, actually,
spending.
he could bring us some jerky in.
By the way, he actually has a prime rib flavored beef jerky that he's waiting for me to sponsor. I got to pay for the packaging and the production, and then we'll split the sales. But Bulldog prime rib beef jerky coming near. You know what? That's not very Bulldog Nation like. I think we ought to have Bulldog White Castle beef jerky.
White Castle?
Yeah, it tastes like a White Castle.
The real man's meat.
A real man's meat, White Castle.
Whitey's. Gives you gas for weeks.
Do you like White Castles, Denise?
Yes, but I'm not. The way Garrett worded it, I'm just laughing at it. Real man's meat.
When we come back, we're going to cover Hostess cupcakes and Twinkies, and we're going to cover Israel and Hamas in the same thing. You know what? It takes a lot of talent to do Israel and Hamas and Twinkies on the same segment.
thing.
And we got some more Tombstone for you, and we got great music. Until then, classic. This is from the Spry Collection. This is the Beatles. And you know, Obama says he's going to Russia, back in the USSR. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We got a little clip we got to play for you. This is number 8 on the day. You know what? Sometimes judges, and see, I like when judges get creative. I think a creative judge is a good judge. You know, not the same old song or dance.
I was going to say, how do they get creative, though? I guess you're going to
Well,
show
here,
us. You're
we're
going to show us.
Yeah, we're going to.
You're about to find
You're
out.
about ready to find out right here.
Well, people going by here on Superior shouting things. Sheena Harden, though, very difficult to see. As you see behind me, she is well back off the street, holding the sign that says, "Only an idiot would drive on the sidewalk and avoid a school bus." Her crime caught on video by a bus driver who watched her
Busted
zoom
by
past
video.
a stopped school bus on a sidewalk day after day. It became an internet sensation. Judge Pinky Carr suspended her license, fined her $250, and ordered her to stand on the corner with the sign. You said nothing in court, and that kind of made the punishment a bit worse. Are you going to say anything today? For an hour, she stood silent, with the sign near her feet, wearing large sunglasses and a hat, first texting, then talking on the phone, all the time with earbuds in, listening to music. Is this really the image that you want people to see? Car after car came past, many honking horns, some getting out to snap a picture. A student learning a valuable lesson.
Good lesson.
Want to
That's
come
a
out
good
here?
lesson.
Just look at it, man.
You know what I need, Garrett? I need some more Tombstone. This is being our special Tombstone Friday for you. We're playing clips of Tombstone. Here's one for you right now. You got ready? You ready for the Tombstone? I love it. I'm in my prime. You got to love that. I'm in my prime. Denise, are you in your prime?
Yeah, I think I'm past.
No, you're past your prime. I think a woman's prime
Hey,
is
at least
28.
I admitted it. I don't know.
Hey,
I think it's the younger guys.
They say
when
our
you're a
prime is
younger
we're
guy.
18.
Yeah, right. So actually, I really technically, if you looked it up, I am. But why it's off kilter? Because the younger guys are and the older women. Hey, maybe that's.
Do you
the
have a
reason.
younger boyfriend?
No.
All right. Hostess Cupcakes. I mean, the Hostess Company. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I don't eat Hostess anymore because I'm kind of a health nut now, except Snickers and Magnum ice cream bars and chocolate and ice cream, chocolate dip cones and apple pie and pizza. But other than that, and hamburgers. I'm a health nut. Skyline. I ate Skyline last night. Hostess is going to expect to decide today if they will liquidate. Do we have? This could be the last opportunity.
I can't believe this.
This is going to be the last opportunity.
I had to go out and buy us.
There we go. We have Twinkies.
Twinkies
So,
is coming to an end.
Live on the air, we're all going to eat a Twinkie.
Jake.
Right here, look. We have Twinkies.
Hey,
and,
you want to see how many I can put in my mouth at once?
Yeah, let's see. Well, we got enough here. We got 4. See if you can put 5 in your mouth. I'm just going to eat one. So, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, if you want to, check this out later, we are actually going to eat Twinkies live on the air. Sponge cake with white cream inside of it. It's an American icon.
Yeah,
and I don't want any of you guys, asking Mike to zoom in on Denise as she eats her Twinkie.
Hey, let's eat and then talk while we're stuffing our face.
I'm eating my Twinkie right now. And I got my Twinkie. This is so good. I can taste the chemicals going through my veins right now. And I can feel my arteries clogging up as I eat this Twinkie. But it's good.
We're going to have to. Do you remember? We should have had the clip from the movie, Zombieland.
Why?
Because in the movie they go hunt down. Jake, do you remember that? Help me out here. They go hunt down Twinkies. Woody Harrelson is one of the main characters in it, and all he wants is a Twinkie, and he busts up stores and.
Twinkies are good, but the best is the cupcakes.
God, I wish I had.
I like chocolate cupcakes better than Twinkies too.
I'm surprised you heard what I said.
And we understood.
And I used to love those angel foods. We're gonna get and the apple pies.
Oh, those were horrible.
You didn't like the apple pies?
Those were horrible.
The thing is, it's
They're
the end of it.
9,000 calories, by the way. An apple pie is enough. If you eat one of those, you can live for a week without food.
Doesn't surprise me there.
And if you eat
Yeah.
enough Twinkies, when you die, you do not need the formaldehyde they put in your body.
They're good for like 500 years or something.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
gracious.
disgusting, Denise.
Yeah.
Act like a lady.
I don't want to.
Yeah, we're allowed to, man. We're like guys. It's a guy thing.
You know what? I did a guy thing yesterday. He just tried to throw Jake a Twinkie, and he's on the other side of a glass wall, so it just bounced. I think it
You
exploded.
know what? A Twinkie can bounce. All right. I got to report this story because it's personal. Curtis Boggs, 54, of Harrison, Ohio, was picked up yesterday on mail fraud, wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering in connection with his scheme to bring the Grand Prix auto race downtown. And he received $455,000 in exchange for shares in the stock of his company. And some of my clients were those that were bilked. And we got the money back from his brokerage. But they had to pay attorney fees and whatnot. So hopefully my clients with some restitution can get even more of their money back because they deserve it. Also, last night I received a phone call at 9 o'clock at night, or 8 o'clock, I don't know when it was, Detective Miles from the Erlanger Police Department, and I had to go over and pick up the Ottawa police report, which is 6 inches thick, the videos and everything else. And last night I went through the reading material of it, and then tonight I'll go through the audio, but I finally got the complete police file. One thing I thought was interesting is all these witnesses inside the finish line said Michael Ottawa wasn't bothering anybody. And yesterday, every day's a fun day with the life of the Bulldog. By the way, today, folks, at 1 o'clock, I'll be having a very lengthy conversation with the television people. Just want to let the team here
letting us know.
Just letting you know. The television people. And also, I had a client come all the way from Greenup County. They're coming from the mountains. This guy first he was beat up by this deputy. Then he was put in jail for 2 weeks. And he never got to the hospital. His scrotum, bigger than a softball, swelled up because they didn't get him his medical treatment. The hospital said he would have died. So they came up to talk to me. Can you imagine a softball?
Size nut?
Scrotum, the whole package.
Oh, the
down
whole
there,
deal, the whole thing.
And then more
don't know
and
that.
more people are coming over from Dearborn County because they love me. Remember, folks, you can listen to us every morning on 88.9 and 89.FM Class X Radio, the new breed of rock. And also on ClassXRadio.com, you can listen to us live, plus a podcast and a live video stream. You can also check that out on the BulldogsMax.com. If you got a show idea, you got anything you'd like to share with me, yours truly, my goal is to have everyone in Bulldog Nation, well, everybody in Bulldog Nation already does, but everybody in the tri-state to have my phone number plugged into their phone, 859-250-2527.
For information.
And I am 2427. Give me an idea, whatever you got. You got a good joke, email it to me at eric@ericdeters.com. eric@ericdeters.com. We like that a lot. Also, Wall Street Journal. There is a report. Nursing homes said to overbill the United States government. I think they probably overbill everybody else. 1/4 of nursing home claims to Medicare were wrong or fraudulent, costing $1.5 billion a year, the new report shows. Incredible. We have great rock music. We got Tombstone. We got sports. We got everything. And we're only halfway done. Got Traffic. This is a classic Fleetwood Mac song by Stevie Nicks from the Spry collection. Silver Springs, one of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs on Class X Radio. This will give you some goosebumps. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Denise, how about a traffic report?
Oh, you're asking for one. Let's see. We have an accident in Hamilton at Crest. You need to watch for that. Reading at 42. A broken down car on southbound 71. Wait a minute. Let me correct myself there. Northbound 71 just south of Montgomery. And a broken down car on 74 at westbound 275. Traffic is slowing down pretty much all those typical spots. Northbound 71, 75 from 275 on down to the bridge. Looking at 25 minutes there. 471 heading inbound. Southbound 71, your normal spot there around 275 from Fields Erdel on down, and then off and on down through the Kenwood Cut. So there we go. We'll shorten it up for you.
All right.
Try to do it faster.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, when I get a national radio platform, I'm going to make everybody look bad. I reported before how I 1 week ahead of the New York Times talking about the only two people that matter is Boehner and Obama. A radio host, and I'm just looking off the top of the Drudge Report. I can't go past the title. It says, radio host calls for second American Revolution. I think it was over a year ago. I called that we ought to have an armed march on Washington just to scare the hell out of them. Something that the Kentucky Bar Association Bar Council thought I was calling for the overthrow of the government when I was calling for the reform of the government. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, this guy's a year late. See, I have vision. How about Thursday and Friday of next week? Denise, you're the only woman in here. I know Mike Zimmerman, Jake, me, and Garrett have enough sense not to. Do you go shopping on Black Friday?
No.
Of course I do.
You do?
Love it.
God,
See,
that's
my wife
miserable existence.
I started this several years ago when Furbies came out.
Everybody has their tradition.
No, it's not a tradition. It's actually, you really can get some good deals, and it just...
Do you know that the studies show that you don't get good deals? And this year it's so bad.
I don't buy it if it's not a good deal.
Now stores are opening up Thanksgiving night. Is
Actually,
anything
yeah,
sacred?
that's ridiculous.
See, proof. America's going to hell in a handbasket. Stores are open on Thanksgiving night.
Did you ever work
my
retail?
sister shops on Thanksgiving
never.
night.
Thank God.
I did it for about 3 years. Dick's Sporting Goods. You got to see that place.
It is a nightmare to work retail.
Why did I eat
Yeah.
that Twinkie just for the freaking... I'm sick. What if I vomit on the air?
Please don't. We'll get you a trash can.
We'll take over.
You hear about Walmart? Walmart workers are threatening a Black Friday walkout.
Good for them.
Whoa, baby.
What the?
Why,
I
'cause they
bet
don't
you they
wanna
got to be
work?
there at 2 a.m.
And if you just tune
You know what? It is. Let me just explain. It is really
quickly.
well. I mean, I tried to buy a TV one time. I had it in my hands, and I couldn't move to get back. I could not get away from where I was standing with the TV.
Then why do
In
you do it?
Walmart.
It just
do that?
sounds miserable.
You know what? It was a good deal. I don't even remember
Oh,
now.
well,
But
that
now
was a
the only
good
reason
deal.
I started it was
You were
for
married to a
Furbies.
lawyer. You don't need deals.
Doesn't mean he had money.
Oh, my bad.
Doesn't mean he's a good lawyer.
Doesn't mean that Christmas isn't expensive.
You won't
and
catch me within a 5-mile radius of a mall on freaking
I
that
don't do it like
Friday.
I used to because the deals for
Stay
kids-
home
kids-
and relax with the family and eat leftover turkey with a fire.
All right, so what do you do on Thanksgiving? I guess we'll have to talk about this next week. But
All
what's
right.
your day as a Thanksgiving?
My day at Thanksgiving is I sleep in, obviously.
Yep.
I know more Thanksgiving radio shows for the dog. And then what I do is I just hang out. I usually work out in the morning. I usually work out Thanksgiving morning to get that
I
workout
thought you
in.
killed a
that's a
turkey
good-
on Thanksgiving morning.
I do that real early in the morning. It's after I've already killed the turkeys. And then I hang out at the house and just chill. And then
Yeah.
my mom and dad's is at 4:00. My kids have to go to like 3 different Thanksgivings because their mom's former house and all that. So, but then I go over to my mom and dad's and I eat. And then I always watch the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
And then we go to a movie like a lot of people do. So it's turkey, family, killing turkeys, football, and a movie. And I always take a nap too.
I thought, didn't you
I
say
love-
you played a game?
Yeah. Here's my favorite Thanksgiving, or the reason why Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. Family, friends, football, eating, movies, naps, no presents.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-day weekend. Thanksgiving weekend's my favorite. What about you, Garrett?
Our day, I'll probably get up and work out. Not too hungover from the night before, because the night before is a big night to go
party night. That's right.
Big party night. So get up, work out, and then I'll head over to my dad's probably around. I'm doing it up there this year, probably around 10 or 11, and that's it. I mean, my stepmom, unbelievable cook. She'll have food out all day, and just watch football and stuff my face.
So you don't have to go anywhere. That's kind of
What about
nice.
you, Denise?
You know what? I'll get up, I'll cook. I don't have to kill a turkey, but I'll cook and then head to my mom's or my sister's. So we'll go somewhere and have Thanksgiving. My kids are with me until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then they shift off and go with their dad. So,
see, like I'm
when
going
they
to
go with their dad, what do you do?
well, you know what? We actually sit around and plot out what we're going to do with all of the newspapers and where we're going to go because, they'll price match. So we just kind of get one paper and we kind of, write down anything we need. It's not the same anymore since my kids aren't little, so I don't need this stuff like my sister-in-law and my sisters do. But they'll go shopping Thanksgiving
What time will you
night.
get up, or what time will you leave to go shopping?
I have gotten up. I used to wake up at 3 a.m.
Oh, God.
So every day. For 7 years, I woke up at 3 a.m. to be at work.
Would you like to sleep in?
By 4:30. Oh, I love to sleep in. So that's the thing. I'm not as
You
in
just give that right up.
No, I'm not in as big of a hurry anymore to go out and do that.
But she used to be.
Well, I used to try to go get. I'm telling you, it started with Furbies, and you couldn't find them anywhere. And I got up one morning at 3 a.m.
I've heard it. Can we listen to Denise? That's just why we try to cut her off. This is Denise. Our first person in our crew got on Jay Leno. I don't know why it was the traffic reporter.
Of course.
But Denise got on Jay Leno last night, and she gave a report after a question to explain what was going on Petraeus. And here's Denise on Jay Leno last night.
You guys are just jealous like,
Denise,
that I
was
got on there and that
pathetic.
you didn't.
All right.
DTF
What
me?
music do we have, Garrett? I need a song.
Cat Stevens' father.
And son
All right.
on Class X Radio. Some Cat Stevens. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Where's the traffic lady? We
On
got
the
rid of her
phone.
finally? Don't have to deal with traffic anymore? It's Friday. There's no traffic out there. How about that final Step Brothers clip we have for everyone's listening pleasure? What is their nicknames? Nighthawk. They had some funny nicknames.
Oh, yeah, I forget. I've only seen that movie once. It is good, though.
Denise, you got an updated traffic report now that you've returned to the studio.
I was just trying to take care of issues we're having with the phone this morning. A couple of accidents still that we're dealing with. Well, this is actually a broken down car. Why do they have pop-ups on this screen? Anyway, that's northbound 71 just south of Montgomery. Still dealing with that one, it looks like. Reading at Cornell, we have an accident there. And Coleraine Avenue at Elmore. That one should be cleared by now. So as far as that goes, the rest of the traffic just slowing down. They have an accident at River Road at State and I already said Coleraine at Elmore. Carolina Trace at New Haven. So a couple of problems there. Traffic's, it's a lighter day. It always is on Friday.
All right. Nissan has abandoned this year's electric vehicle sales target. They thought it's called a tree.
Huh?
Or no, a leaf. It was called a leaf. A leaf. It was close enough. A leaf. And they said that it was going to sell 20,000. They're got $6,000 sold.
Oh, you greenies out there.
My son would want one of those.
And the highest number of new jobless claims in that report yesterday, Ohio and Pennsylvania. Way to go, Jack
Ohio
Wagons.
and Pennsylvania. You voted for him.
Denny's is to charge 5% Obamacare surcharge and cut employees' hours. I'm telling you, all these, oh my God, it's so dumb. These people voting for this guy. It's over. I was thinking about this. There isn't one major issue that's being discussed on talk radio or in the nightly news or on cable news that all of these voters, with the exception of the elite liberals, the elite liberals, they read and they do it. But other than that, it is amazing to me. They have no clue. Like when there's a discussion of, quote unquote, going off the fiscal cliff.
Fiscal cliff.
Well, do you think all of those people that were lined up in long lines to vote for Barack Obama from the inner cities and from the towns and other places around America, do you think they had any clue of what we're talking about relative to fiscal cliff? Do they have any clue about Syria and Israel and Hamas? They don't even know what hummus is. Do they have any clue what a budget deficit is? No. The 16 trillion, no. All they care about is what comes in the United States mail to them every month.
On the 1st and the 15th.
And Romney's right. And how cool is it to be Romney to be liberated? See, that's why I think that one movie that Chris Rock played where he ran for president and just spoke the truth. I can tell you right now, how liberating would it be to not be president of the United States and you're allowed to finally say what you really want to say and you don't care what people think and you don't have to worry about angering voters. I mean, Mitt Romney can say, yeah, he gave them gifts. He gave them gifts. You know, Mitt Romney played it too cautious. He should have been out there wailing. Maybe it would have helped him with the win. The only two groups that he had a chance to maybe turn the election would be the Hispanic votes, the female votes, and get more white male votes. And I still think going after the president on Benghazi, which he didn't do, would have helped him with white male voters. I truly believe that. I think white male voters are the kind of voters that when you're looking at a situation where you got, you know, SEALs calling for help, an ambassador calling for help, and somebody doesn't come, I think male voters in general, whatever ethnic back, can say, hey, man, you know, come on, those guys needed help and you don't send help. Not a very manly thing to do, is it? Not at all. And, you know, there was a guy debating Hannity last night about this budget deficit, a Democrat operative. And you heard me say this yesterday. Again, Hannity listens to the show. About tax revenues last year were up 6%, and this year we're up 6%. 6%. And they still want more money. They still want more money. He wants $1.6 trillion in new revenue. He's not going to use it to pay off debt, folks. He's going to use it to spend more money. They live in la-la land. There's a disconnect with Barack Obama and Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi and the whole lot of them. I got to have some tombstone, Garrett. I got to have some tombstone. If I don't have some tombstone, I might just explode or implode right here. I might catch on fire. Here's a tombstone. You're darn right you do. All right, when we come back, folks, we're going to have Rob Hans from the Kentucky Department of Transportation to talk about the Brent Spence Bridge. But until then, enjoy one of my favorite songs of all time, Rob Jungles. This is the greatest song you've never heard of before that you're going to love. Memphis Thing on Class X Radio. We got about 30 seconds, Denise, so give us a traffic report before we go to commercial break.
In 30 seconds. Let's see if I can do it. Accident,
All right,
West
you can
Bend.
have a minute.
West Bend at Wenton, eastbound on 32 at Old State Route. It says 74, but that doesn't make any sense. All right, at Edwards at Hyde Park and Turkey Foot, there's an accident at Brightleaf. And as far as traffic goes, you're slow 71, 75 from Buttermilk to the bridge still. The rest of the traffic not looking too bad.
All right.
See, and look at that. I did it faster.
I think the weather is going to be, just if you didn't know, the weather is going to be sunny and in the 50s all weekend long. Today, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be great.
Still going to be bitter up there in South Bend, Indy.
It's supposed to rain.
I don't know if it's
rain
going to
out
rain,
there?
but
You know what's weird about South Bend? Because I went up there because my daughter went to school for a year up at St. Mary's across the street from Notre Dame. I'll tell you right now, there ain't nothing there.
no, there's not. It's actually a little crap hole town.
Yeah.
Right before you kind of get to South Bend, it's a dump.
I mean, if you're not going to Notre Dame, it's kind of a,
Yeah.
I don't know, boring place if you ask me.
Yeah,
They do
it
have a
is.
great poster place. Maybe we ought to take a road trip to the poster place up there.
There you go.
All right.
Yes.
When we come back, we'll have more Radio Superbity on Class X Radio.
88.9.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I've now removed my hat. My
Does that
head was
feel better?
getting a little bit warm. I think I need another dose of caffeine, a charge of some kind. Do we have any caffeine products?
Yes, we do.
Or 200 milligrams of pure grade caffeine pills?
Well, I don't carry those around, but we have those little mini Cokes that you like in there.
The mini Cokes. If you drink a mini Coke, so you only get like 200 calories. Is our guest here?
We're
right.
working on getting that.
All right, because our guest is going to be Rob Hans, and he is with the Kentucky Department of Transportation. You know, my little brother is with the Department of Transportation, Richard, and he's a lawyer over there. He's involved in when the state like takes right-of-ways and whatnot. He's involved in that, paying people money. You know, we could corrupt Little Richard. We could, like, buy a piece of property for, like, $500 an acre, like a 200-acre farm, and then get Richard to convince the state to put an interstate right through it and become billionaires. Richard's incorruptible. He's a good kid, good Marine, my little brother. All right, this is Robert Hanson, Department of Transportation. The biggest regional issue that's been out there in the news constantly, and you have all of the political entities from Hamilton County, State of Ohio, State of Kentucky, the port authorities, is the Brent Spence Bridge. Robert, how are you this morning?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the American jury what the issue that's being debated is about the Brent Spence Bridge, toll or no toll?
Well, from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet standpoint, that's not the big issue. The
Good.
big issue is that we need to construct a new bridge to carry traffic from one side to the other, the commuters, and make it a safe corridor. How it's going to be funded, which is the issue that you mentioned, is still yet to be determined. Currently, there's not funding available for the project, but the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and the Ohio Department of Transportation don't have a current path on how to acquire those funds.
You know, streetcar up though.
You know, one of the things that drives me nuts, Rob, is the interstate highway system and this bridge, and of course Barack Obama used it for a campaign prop. All of this bridge, I don't know, you're not getting politics, but this is a need. This is something that is the federal government's purview. This is the federal government's duty and responsibility, and it drives me nuts. And this is a classic example. We're building hospitals and bridges and roads in Afghanistan and Iraq, and it's like, I just think that this is the kind of project that everybody in Congress, Senate, the House, it's not going to a company that's going to blow it like a green energy company that doesn't pan out. I mean, it drives me nuts. And then what really drives me nuts is we now have the Senate minority leader, we've had him in McConnell, the Republican majority leader in John Boehner. The president's come here and spoken about it. And I'm like, well, what's the problem in collecting the individuals in Congress to pay for the Brent Spence Bridge? It makes no sense to me.
It's a good question and a good comment. Again, all we can do is work within the means that we have, the current funding that's available, which is not near the amount or enough to finish the design of the project. We have only advanced to the point now through preliminary engineering and environmental evaluation and design. We haven't even finished the detailed design, which currently there's not enough funding to finish that, and then to acquire the necessary right-of-way for the improved, widened infrastructure and for construction of the project.
Yeah, I mean, much less design, and then you got the whole project. And then when you're talking about the need for jobs, this is the kind of thing that would create jobs, real jobs, good jobs, and everything else. And I know Kentucky and Ohio, struggle with this, and it's like, well, can we do it from a state standpoint? I know there's lots of individuals that do that, and then they start talking about a toll because the toll's the way to move it. But, I just think we'll have Rand Paul on here again. I think we just need to have this is something the government is supposed to do. And by the way, I got to ask you this question generally.
Okay.
What's the state of the bridge? I mean, I know Ohio had the most bridges in the country that were in danger. What is the general state of roads and bridges and highways, county, local, and federal, in the state of Kentucky?
I can't answer for county and local because, of course, me with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. However, the general state of the structures is fair. There are a lot of older bridges, older structures that are showing deterioration, showing the age from how they were designed when they were built and new current design standards. They don't meet current design standards, so they're considered what we call functionally obsolete. We do have some structurally deficient bridges. However, we inspect from a state standpoint all the structures that are qualified or classified to be inspected by the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the State Transportation Cabinet. Those are all inspected, made sure that they are safe. If there's any concerns with structural issues, we evaluate those. We either load post the structures, or if necessary, we would close the structure if needed. One of the most recent structures, of course, everybody in the Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area is aware, the Roebling Suspension Bridge. We just recently reduced the load capacity of that bridge from 11 tons to 3 tons because we found some structural defects. We're in a process of repairing those before we increase the load capacity back up to the 11 tons that it was posted prior to the inspection where we found the issues. So we're continually inspecting bridges to make sure they are safe. If there's any problems, we address those, or like I said, we would have to close the structure if needed, but we do inspect all the structures on a regular basis.
You know, one of the things that relative to the roads and the bridges and everything in Kentucky, if my memory serves me correct, that Kentucky has always used their gas tax for this. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Right.
It's the motor fuels tax that goes to the enhancements and maintenance of the roads and bridges.
I think that's a great example of a state addressing their issues with a local tax that makes sense, and it's for, you know, that just seems like some common sense to me. Well, Rob, thanks for weighing in on this and giving us some information. We like to keep Bulldog Nation informed, and I appreciate it, okay?
You're very welcome.
That's Rob Hans from the Kentucky Department of Transportation, and there's the lowdown on the bridge and the other highway issues. You know, when you drive around, this is just my opinion. I drive more than I fly. You know what? These roads and bridges and everything else generally in this country, there's a lot of issues.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio, I couldn't believe it. Ohio was #1 in concerns about bridges with the hottest toys.
No. Is that Bradley Cooper over there?
Yes, it is.
Bradley.
Hi, I've been
Oh,
watching him for a
badass.
little while. Oh, can we get
my God. What are they talking about?
Who cares?
Are they talking about that movie?
Me.
Where he plays him and he
Yeah, Denise, I'm sure they're talking about you. Now,
Me.
what in the hell?
Oh, uniting on teacher pay.
Oh, there's that
Yeah,
fat-ass
with
Chris
Chris
Christie.
I wonder if his mother's a teacher or something. I mean, why would he be involved in unions unite on teacher pay? That's going to be interesting. He did play a teacher.
Maybe
yeah, he
that's
played a
it.
teacher.
You're good.
Maybe
There
that's
you go.
it. And you know what? The thing that cracked me up about him
That's
playing a
funny. He
teacher
takes the-
and Hangover, he took the money,
money.
took the money for Vegas.
He's hot.
You think there's teachers that hot out there?
I wouldn't have a problem with him. I'm sure there's a few.
You know what?
We had one in high
Do you
school.
think
great hair.
Do you
He's
think
got
the
great
seven?
He does have
Do you
great
think the
hair.
17-year-old girls would swoon for him?
Oh, absolutely.
He'd need me for a lawyer.
We had a teacher that we all drooled all over.
Really? What's his name? Come on, what's his name?
Well, back then it was
Spill
Jeff
the beans.
Cavana. I mean, I don't know where
Jeff
he is
Cavana.
now. Yeah.
Probably about
He actually
85
wound up
years
marrying
old.
somebody that was a year older than me after she got out of school. So, who knows? Who knows?
Hey,
I just remember.
All right.
Denise,
That
can you
was
give us
100 years ago.
can you give us a slump update on your sex life, maybe?
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry from the Sprite Collection, we give you Pink Floyd, Breathe. We'll come back for 30 final minutes of Radio Superbity on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Our final 25 minutes of Superbity. Traffic report, Blondie.
You know what? It's pretty light out there as far as the traffic goes. Everybody's cleared out. We still have an accident at West Bend at Wenton, and that's it.
We like easygoing traffic on Friday.
We do.
I need some Tombstone. This is Tombstone Friday. We got to have some Tombstone. We're manly men around here. Man's man, a woman's man. You know that movie has some of the best insults. And what's funny is the insults from Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday that go unanswered. I mean, the things that they say to those guys.
It's funny.
And they take it because, of course, they were Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp. You know, Wyatt Earp ended up, we haven't had some history yet today. I'll tell you a little bit of history. Doc Holliday, if you did not know this, was from Georgia. And he became a dentist, and he developed tuberculosis. And the reason why he went out west was, they called it consumption, was for the dry air because of that. The other thing that is bizarre is he fell in love with his cousin, who was much younger than him. And she, by the way, she ended up entering a convent. And he was heartbroken, and he had tuberculosis. So he goes out west. And the reason why he was they said he had like 20 man-to-man gun battles. And one of the things that made him so good and so fearless, and this is portrayed by Kilmer in the movie, in his portrayal, is he didn't care because he knew he was going to die. He was going to die. So it was like, I don't care. I ain't got nothing to lose. And by the way, not having fear is a lot, and that's pretty darn good. And it was true that Wyatt Earp and him did become friends and stayed friends. Wyatt Earp, on the other hand, after Tombstone, and they portray it that he, cleaned up the Cowboys, as he went out west to California, even further west to California, and he actually was involved with making movies with Tom Mix and the other early Cowboy stars. He was like a consultant, and he and Josie actually traveled a lot. And Wyatt Earp, he was a lawman in Tombstone, in Dodge City, and other places. Wyatt Earp did all of those things, and he died. I think he was either in his late 80s, early 90s. He died of old age, and no bullet ever touched him. Isn't that amazing? No bullet ever touched old Wyatt Earp. So
that's a good story.
Great story. And I love the stories of the Old West. Kenny Rogers hosted those for the History Channel, and I've seen them over and over again, and I've got a book about the lawmen from out west and the stories of the West. It's a different time, man, but they're just great, great stories. Like Wild Bill Hickok, love that. Love that. What part of history do you like the most? You like any part of history, like ancient? My favorite are ancient history, the old Greeks and the Romans and so forth. I love European history, and I like American history. Those are my three faves.
If I had a choice, because I was telling my mom this last night, we were talking about this show, and I said, what I do like is the history that you know a lot about. And I wish I would have paid more attention in high school to like American history would have been my.
You're probably like my son Parker. Parker was no scholar. The one subject that he kind of liked because of stories was history. History's got some great stories. You could pull any area of it, and it's like great stories, man.
Right. Yeah. I wish I would have
and
read more.
And when I think about the movies that they don't make, like all these dumb movies they make. Well, you can take so many of these true stories. I like to share sometime with everybody and I've done it before on the radio. The story of Alcibiades, who was an Athenian. He was like the first Bill Clinton. This guy was a character. And how somebody hasn't made a movie about Alcibiades. And I like the stories that you don't know about, and then you watch it. Man, I didn't know that story. Like John Marshall, the third Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. John Marshall, an incredible life. He wrote the first biography of George Washington. He could apparently high jump over 6 foot. He was an incredible lawyer. He became Chief Justice, and Jefferson was his cousin, and he battled him. At his funeral, here's a little trivia for you. At his funeral, going through Philadelphia, is when the Liberty Bell cracked. During his funeral procession.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when we come back, we'll wrap up this great show. Until then, this is Dire Straits, The Walk of Life. Walk of Life on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class S Radio. Denise, give us our final traffic report for today.
Well, we still just have the one accident, and that was West Bend at Winton. Let me see. There's a couple others that are showing up here. Also, Duck Creek, just east of Kennedy, and another one on Nash at Van Dyke. But the rest of the traffic, pretty light. It's Friday, you know. Everybody's having a good day so far. Because they maybe get a short work week. What do you think?
That's right. I love short weeks. I mean, it's just awesome. Isn't it not? Garrett, what are you going to do? What are you going to do on your short week?
Well, I got to work. Coke goes 4 days. Those drivers, man, have I don't drive, but I route the trucks. So those but those drivers work every day. So I'm only off Thursday, but man, am I looking forward to it.
Yeah. Get to eat and hang out.
Just stuff face. I'm going to continue my workouts. Been running.
You feeling better?
Feeling better. Isn't it like when after you work out, you just feel like it's just such a great feeling. Drenched in sweat. Glad I bought that treadmill.
You know,
it's a great towel rack.
There is nothing at all better for a man exercise than simple running or swimming if you got a pool. I mean, swimming,
yeah.
I did that all summer, which was kind of nice on the old joints because I'm 49 years old. Yeah. But you know what? This is a true story. Segman. You know how fat Segman is.
Oh, he's a huge guy.
And I had an extra treadmill because I bought a new treadmill, so I always have one after I get a new one because I wear them out. I said, Segman, you're my buddy. I care about you. I will give you this treadmill. You watch sports all the time. And I asked him where he did. He says, down in his basement. I said, listen, I can give you this treadmill, and I'm telling you, Seg, you just walk on it.
30
just
minutes
walk
a day
on it
or something.
while you're watching sports.
Absolutely.
And he didn't take it. I was going to give it to him.
I do. I like the Seg, man. He's kind of an ass sometimes, but you know, I do. I worry about that too. It's
man,
like,
it's waiting to happen, man.
You're getting old.
And you know what too? You know another thing about Seg, he holds it all in.
Oh, he's an angry man. He's stressed out.
I mean, stressed out. He's got to be taking blood pressure.
Yeah. Just walking up the steps with his big backpack on. It's like,
hey, did you find Wake Up the Echoes for Notre Dame's victory? Did we get that yet?
Let's get it Monday for Monday when I'm on the trek back from South Bend.
Okay.
After the
Wake Up the Echoes.
The only hope they have is if Kansas State or Oregon loses.
Well, Oregon plays Stanford, baby, and Stanford's tough.
Well,
man.
So is Oregon. I don't know that anybody does stop Oregon's offense. That's not.
Well, let me tell you the game plan since I'm a football analyst of the superb quality.
Yes.
Stanford's whole game: physical, slow, smash mouth, run.
You definitely keep the ball from Oregon.
Keep the ball from Oregon.
Yeah.
Ball control, 8-minute drives, 6-minute drives. Keep them off the field.
Yeah.
When you get a chance to score, fine. And you know what teams do, and you know this. I think Oklahoma was a great example when Notre Dame played them. Really fast teams, the LSUs, the Alabamas, these Floridas. When you slow them down and, they're not on the field, they get anxious.
Yeah.
They get anxious.
Try to make plays.
They don't stay calm. They get in a hurry.
Well, that's the only hope Notre Dame has. Otherwise, it'll be Kansas State and Oregon.
And I always like going back at the end of the show where we started because we cover football in the beginning. But let's talk about football here. High school football tonight, the biggest game on the menu is the Covington Catholic Colonels against the Highland Bluebirds. Covcast good this year. Highlands has started out slow a few games. You're an alma mater of the Highland Bluebirds. What do you think?
It's always a big game. That'll be a big game for everybody to go to.
It'll
big
be closer than normal,
competition
but I still say Highlands.
Where's that game at?
At Highlands.
Okay.
Makes a difference. And then tomorrow night, Coleraine and Moeller.
That just sounds like it'd be a great game.
Man, that
Mighty
is
Mo.
a huge game.
Yeah, I help Coleraine. I'm a public school guy. That's why.
That's why. By the way, I'm a public school guy too.
Yeah.
Well, they've been playing.
Kids
Colerane's been playing really well, though.
My kids went to
year.
Simon Kenton High School. I mean, I went to private school, but my kids went to Simon Kenton High School. And these schools have those private schools have such an advantage. I mean, we dealt with this in the state of Kentucky, and those schools come up here. You know why they come up here and play the GCL? Because they don't have any competition in the state.
Yeah.
Xavier and Louisville Trinity, they recruit. Those two schools recruit all around the region. I mean, they got people that go in Indiana.
Yeah.
It's a private school, and they can recruit. So you got X and Trinity and everybody else in the state of Kentucky. And it's just messed up. And the reason why they come up here and play is, everybody around them, they just beat the hell out of them.
Right.
They can't find anybody to give them a game.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how much of a hotbed Ohio is. Getting back to it's weird though, going back to the college game in Notre Dame this weekend. It's weird that Notre Dame has the chance to go undefeated and will not make the national title game. I would never have thought that could have happened. Because you would think that just the schedule that Notre Dame normally plays, and it is a little weaker this year, but normally they play such a good schedule that it's an automatic. Plus, you just want that name, Notre Dame. You want it to be in there.
Right. Well, I tell you right now, it's just going to prove that, although it's weird how it kind of works its way out. Because if Notre Dame or Oregon State or Kansas State lose, it'll all take care of itself and there won't be a big debate.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry, folks. And it's a shame they lost because they lost. Alabama's the best team in the country.
Yeah, they are. They are. 9 out of 10 times, Bama beats A&M. And
it's got to drive because you're so used to winning.
Yeah.
It's got to drive Saban nuts.
Yeah.
Also tonight, the UK Wildcats play Lafayette at home. It's going to be a tough one. Hopefully they'll be able to pull it out late in the game. I think if they keep Lafayette close.
Jeez. Kentucky's a sad sack for a SEC
Denise,
school.
any final words from you?
No, really, I don't have anything to say. Got to get
Great
ready
input.
for Thanksgiving next week.
Thank you.
I've got different mom things to talk
Thanksgiving's
about.
next week, dog. Did you know that?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I said I have
Thanksgiving
to
is
get
next week.
ready.
Appreciate that, Denise. Now I got to get ready for Thanksgiving.
Jim
Yeah, I'm sure you
Verona
have a
wants
lot
to
to
point
do.
out that Coleraine is nationally ranked.
I was going to say, they've
I
got a
think
good team
Moeller
this
is
year.
too.
I was going to say.
But Coleraine, it's a
All
good
right,
team
every
this year.
dog has their day. I hope today and tomorrow is yours. I got to get to work. Lots of law things to do. Have a great Friday, great Saturday, great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Remember, Bulldog Nation, I love you. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio.